Hi, my name is Michael Santos. I'm the founder of Prison Professors, and every day we strive to produce new content that will help more people in prison understand the importance of using their time inside to prepare for success outside. And we've got a full course called Preparing for Success After Prison, which I encourage everyone to go through. But after you go through that course, you still want to continue learning and developing your knowledge of the world and how you can prepare for it. And that's why I'm so excited to be sharing this new project with you. And it's only possible because of a collaboration that we have with Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency company, and where they've enabled us to use a lot of their educational content to share with people in prison so that more people in prison can learn about the digital economy. And we're going to start with this lesson, which is the first lesson on which we call Welcome to Cryptocurrency. So this is coming right off of our website at prisonprofessors.com, but we also produce it as PDFs, and we produce it, of course, as these videos that we could share through our collaboration with Adovo and other organizations so that we could just reach more people in prison and help those people learn about concepts that might help them become more successful when they come home. So I just go ahead and read this, and sometimes I offer some commentary. I'm going to start right now. The world's largest crypto exchange, Binance, entered into a collaboration agreement with our nonprofit, the Prison Professors Charitable Corporation. With this collaboration, we're able to provide justice-impacted people with a great resource they can use to learn about cryptocurrency, decentralized finance, Web 3.0, artificial intelligence, and other topics that relate to the digital economy. The agreement is part of our nonprofit's ongoing effort to help people prepare for success after prison, and just to show those other people who use this who use our stuff that we're not plagiarizing. We did work directly with Binance, and we got a signed agreement so that we can teach people in prison. There's a lot of people that would like to see people in prison emerge successfully, and we're very grateful that Binance has agreed to offer this information. Some people have access to our videos, others do not. If a staff member in your prison will authorize videos, invite them to contact Prison Professors for information on how we can send DVDs with additional educational materials to help people learn, and potentially, possibly, I could even go in there and present inside of your prison. I go into prisons routinely because I'm really committed to helping more people inside understand how they can prepare for a life of meaning and relevance and dignity. I served 26 years in federal prison. It's something I say a lot because a lot of people are coming into this program for the first time. Some of you have seen me presenting at other times, so I'll ask you just to bear with me as I try and help more people understand why this is so important and why I'm so passionate about sharing learning resources for people in prison. Each lessons include critical thinking questions and a glossary. We encourage participants to use these lessons and to memorialize their learning path by building a profile on Prison Professors Talent. More information on how to build a personal profile at the end of this workbook. So we create these workbooks that really describe that whole concept to you as well. But for now, I'm just going to get into reading the lesson, and you'll notice every one of these lessons starts with this little symbol here. It stands for too long, did not read. And it's just a summary of what you'll find in the lesson. Welcome to Crypto, that's the name of the lesson, aims to introduce key concepts like cryptocurrencies, blockchain, trading, investing, and earning passive income. It also covers privacy and security tips, so dive into the world of digital currencies and explore a wealth of knowledge to kickstart your journey. And I'm going to start by just describing what is a cryptocurrency. A cryptocurrency is just like a digital form of cash. You can use cryptocurrency to pay friends for your share of the bar tab, buy that new pair of stocks you've been eyeing, or book flights and hotels for your next holiday. Because cryptocurrency is digital, it can also be sent to friends and family anywhere in the world. Just like PayPal or bank transfers, right? Well, not really. It's way more interesting. You see, traditional online payment gateways are owned by organizations. They hold your money for you, and you need to ask them to transfer it on your behalf when you want to spend it. With cryptocurrencies, there isn't an organization. You, your friends, and thousands of others can act as your own banks by running free software. Your computer connects with other people's computers, meaning you communicate directly without any middlemen. To use cryptocurrency, you don't need to sign up for a website with an email address and password. You can download a wide variety of apps on your smartphone to begin sending and receiving the cryptocurrency within minutes. So why do they call it a cryptocurrency? The name cryptocurrency is a combination of cryptography and currency. With cryptography, we used advanced math to secure our funds, making sure that nobody else can spend them. There's no need to understand all of this. Applications you use will do all the heavy lifting. You won't even know what's going on under the hood. If you're interested in that kind of thing, we've got a few different articles for you. And what you'll see here these are links that people could access through our website, but we'll also provide them as individual lessons for people in prison who do not have access to the web. So this magical internet money isn't owned by anyone and uses cryptography to secure the system. But you've already got apps for paying people. Why should you care? Well, one of the reasons is that cryptocurrency is permissionless. No one can stop you from using cryptocurrency. Centralized payment services, on the other hand, can freeze accounts to prevent transactions from being made. It's censorship resistant. Because the way the network is designed, it is virtually impossible for hackers or other attackers to shut it down. It's a cheap and fast payment method. When you make a transaction to someone at the other side of the world, your money can be with them within seconds at a fraction of the cost of an international wire transfer. And what about that Bitcoin thing your friend or family member keeps talking about? That's the original cryptocurrency. And to date, it is also the most popular. So who invented Bitcoin? Amazingly, nobody really knows who invented Bitcoin. We only know them by their screen name, or his screen name, or her screen name, which is Satoshi Nakamoto. Satoshi could be a single person, a group of programmers, or if you believe some of the weirder theories, a time-traveling alien or secret government team. Satoshi published a 9-page document in 2008 detailing how the Bitcoin system works. Months later, in 2009, the software itself was released. Now you'll see that this is it is a link, but of course people in prison don't have access to the link, but I could still share it with you. So I'll have a separate lesson where I actually share the Bitcoin white paper. And this is it. You see, it's just 9 pages, and it's what started all of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin in particular. And you could see when it was initially published, I think they have a date on it. I know it was the end of 2008. I was still in prison then. Does it have a date? No, there is no date on it. But it was in 2008, and Bitcoin actually launched in January of 2009, I believe. So, yeah, it says right there detailing how the Bitcoin system worked. Months later, in 2009, the software itself was released. Bitcoin provided the foundation for many other cryptocurrencies. Some were based on the same software, while others took a very different approach. Okay, but what's the difference between all the different cryptocurrencies, you might ask? Well, to even make a list of all the different cryptocurrencies would take us weeks. Some are faster than others, some are more private, some are more secure, and some are more programmable. But there's a common saying in the cryptocurrency space: do your own research, or DYOR. We're not saying that to be rude. We promise. It's just that you shouldn't take information from a single source as being the truth. So we encourage you to learn as much as you possibly can, and we're going to provide you many lessons through Prison Professors that we are gaining from Binance. So before investing your money into a particular project, make sure you do your due diligence. Cryptocurrencies aren't all the same. If you're interested in learning about some of the different coins and tokens, we have compiled a list of guides from Binance Academy, and we'll make individual lessons for each one of these thanks to Binance. So in the next section, we're going to talk about the technology that the vast majority of digital currencies are based on, known as blockchain. What is blockchain? So don't get spooked by all the technobabble that people use to describe blockchain. A blockchain is just a database. It isn't a particularly sophisticated one either. You could create it in a spreadsheet with minimal effort. There are some peculiarities with these databases. The first is that blockchains are append only. That means that you can only add information. You cannot just click on a cell and delete stuff in that if it's already been added, nor can you change it in any way. The second component is that each entry, called a block in the database, is cryptographically linked to the last entry. In plain English, each new entry must contain a sort of digital fingerprint or hash of the last one. And that's it. Since each fingerprint points back to the last one, you end up with a chain of blocks, or as the cool kids like to call it, a blockchain. A blockchain is immutable. Notice that when I have things here in bold, that means it's one of the glossary words, and we're just really trying to help you develop your vocabulary as well. So if you change a block, it changes the fingerprint. A blockchain is immutable. If you change a block, it changes the fingerprint. And since that fingerprint is included in the next block is changed too. And since that block's fingerprint is changed, it just goes on and on and on. You get the idea. You end up with a domino effect where any change becomes evident. You cannot alter any information without everyone noticing. Is that it? That might be underwhelming, but that's fair. The innovation here isn't some cumbersome alternative to Google Sheets. It is that everyone can download blocks from other people on the network to build identical copies of the blockchain on their computers. That's what the software we mentioned earlier does. Suppose that you and your friends, Alice, Bob, Carol, and Dan, are running the software. You might say, I want to send 5 coins to Bob. So you send that instruction to everyone else, but the coins are not sent to Bob immediately. Carol might decide at the same time to send Alice 5 coins. She also sends her instructions out to the network. At any time, a participant can gather up the pending instructions to create a block. If anyone can make a block, what stops them from cheating? It probably seems very attractive to you to create a block that says, Bob pays me 1,000,000 coins, or to start buying Lamborghinis and fur coats from Carol by making transactions with funds you don't own. But that's not how it works. Because of some cryptography, game theory, and something called a consensus algorithm, the system prevents you from spending funds that you shouldn't be able to spend. So these are some of the other articles that we'll cover in our lesson, thanks to Binance. But did you know that already, and you just want to learn how to trade or invest? Well, let's get on to that in the next section of this lesson. As you might have heard, blockchain and cryptocurrencies are already used in a lot of different areas. Undoubtedly, one of the biggest current use cases is speculation. Trading generally implies a shorter-term approach to generating profit. Traders may jump in and out of positions all the time, but how do they know when to get in and when to get out? One of those common ways to make sense of the cryptocurrency market is through an approach called technical analysis. Technical analysts look at price history, charts, and other types of market data to find bets that have a good chance of returning a profit. You must be dying to get started right away. And technically, you could. It's that easy. But like most things worth pursuing, trading is hard. It would take us a long time to talk about all that you need to keep in mind. But we will be sharing a lot more lessons, such as one on the art of mastering charts. We've created an extensive guide for new crypto traders. It contains pretty much everything and probably more that you need to know about trading crypto. Once you can quote that article after being woken up at 5 in the morning, you could move on to other related topics. So we have another lesson there, a complete guide to cryptocurrency trading for beginners, which we will cover in video as well. Now, trading is different from investing. Investors look for long-term bets based on the fundamentals of an investment. For example, how much profit a company is making. While cryptocurrencies are a new and unique type of asset, they can also be viewed through a similar lens. Many Bitcoin investors follow the HODL philosophy. That means they believe so deeply in the success of Bitcoin that they don't intend to sell for a long time. But don't take their word for it. Read our extensive Bitcoin guide and decide for yourself. And if you're looking at this video, you'll see that my shirt says HODL, okay? Because I will never sell my Bitcoin. It is a concept that began in the early days when Bitcoin prices were really volatile and they were falling. Somebody said, I'm just going to hold my Bitcoin, but he did a typo and he typed in HODL. I'm just going to HODL my Bitcoin. And that's how many people in the community refer to it now. Just HODL your coins. Don't ever sell your Bitcoin. And I can tell you, my wife is a true evangelist who also tells me we'll never sell our Bitcoin. And you will learn more about why as we get through these lessons. So after going through that guide, you're going to decide whether you want to become a Bitcoin hodler. Well, you could become one in a matter of minutes. Just go to the Buy Crypto page and follow the instructions. That is, one of the links that would take you to to Binance's exchange so that you could do that. But of course, in prison, you can't do that. The onboarding process is smooth and quick. You don't have to jump on with large amounts either. You can start with as little as $15. So what is some mind candy that you should be looking into related to crypto investing? These are some of the other lessons we're going to cover in our course. If you want to invest in cryptocurrencies, these articles will help you get started. And I've got all these articles coming up in future lessons. And then there's passive income. We've talked about trading and investing. These methods generally require a lot of time, which not everyone has. If you're one of those busy but efficient people, we have some other options for you. As Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors of all time, said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. But the good news is the world of cryptocurrency offers many opportunities to earn passive income. You can basically use your crypto holdings to make more crypto. Why isn't everyone doing this? Well, they probably don't know, but now you do. So when you come home from prison, learn as much as you can about the cryptocurrency space. One of the ways to earn passive income is by securely lending your holdings to other people. In exchange for the opportunity to borrow your funds, they'll pay interest to you. Besides, you may have heard about Bitcoin mining. It generally involves a lot of loud and expensive machines churning away for Bitcoin rewards. However, there are a few other ways to secure a cryptocurrency network. One of those is through a process called staking. And a spoiler alert, it doesn't involve meat. What is staking? In simple terms, staking means getting rewards for locking up coins. So if you invest in a coin that supports staking, and Bitcoin does not, at least not today, you could build up a larger holding over time. Read more about it in other articles and lessons that Binance offers and that we will provide here. Privacy and security. We're a cryptocurrency website, but we also love privacy and security topics, and you should too. The digital age brought with it some serious innovation. Your fridge can text you when you forget to close the door. You can summon your car from a smartphone app, and it looks like soon you'll be receiving mail by drone. Unfortunately, there's also been innovation in ways to steal your sensitive data, something we unknowingly produce a lot of. Do you know the best way to deal with ransomware or the steps you can take to stop websites from finding out where you're browsing? Well, Binance offers several articles that we will cover in our course so that you can learn before you come home. Well, that about brings us up to speed. Hopefully, you can leave this guide with a better understanding of cryptocurrency and how it works. On Binance Academy, you'll find a huge variety of articles ranging from beginner's guides to overviews or more advanced topics. But each one of these lessons, we like to conclude with some critical thinking questions that we hope you will use to challenge yourself. How does the decentralized nature of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin challenge traditional financial institutions? And what implications could this have for financial inclusion and economic equality? That's just a critical thinking question. No right answer, no wrong answer. It just challenges you to use your time wisely there. Number 2, considering the security features of blockchain technology, such as immutability and cryptographic links between blocks, How might these features be leveraged to enhance transparency and trust in other areas, such as voting systems or supply chain management? 3. The concept of permissionless transactions in cryptocurrency means that anyone can participate without the need for approval from a central authority. What are the potential benefits and risks of this feature in the context of global financial systems? 4. The term censorship resistance is used to describe cryptocurrency's ability to prevent unauthorized control or suppression of transactions. How could this characteristic impact individuals' freedom and privacy, and what ethical considerations arise from this capability? Cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology introduced new concepts such as staking and proof of work. How do these mechanisms differ from traditional financial practices, and what potential do they hold for creating innovative economic models or disrupting existing ones? Now, here is a little something for those of you in prison who have not seen some of our other work. We are really involved in an advocacy initiative, and we try to show stakeholders what people are doing in prison to prepare for success upon release. And if you want to participate on that by documenting your journey inside, it's pretty simple. You just have to write a letter. Hopefully you can do it digitally through email, but just send your letter to Prison Professors Talent. You could also send an email to courses@prisonprofessorstalent.com, or if you're writing by hand, 32565 Golden Lantern, Box B-1026 in Dana Point, California. That's 92629. And then our interns will follow up by giving you more information and sending you books and doing everything that our nonprofit can do to help you prepare. I am Michael Santos. I'm a big believer in Bitcoin and in cryptocurrency and learning everything you possibly can. By learning as much as I could while I was incarcerated, I was able to come back to society after 26 years and build businesses, become successful, just like I know you can do as well. Visit us at prisonprofessors.com. Visit Binance at binance.com or binance.us. They are the ones who sponsored us by giving us this information. We believe in you, and we are here to hopefully help you build a pathway to more success upon your release.